Another day in the NBA here, and the work is going to begin it. Oh, man. Always fun to have a flub in the beginning. The work begins, it always does, here on the Splash Play channel. We're going to dig in and compare my projections to one of the industry leaders out there, our friends over at Stokastic. We'll see the top plays are, the top value plays are. We'll also go game by game. We'll check the ownership along the way, see where the leverage lies. We'll hop over to Stokastic, run a sim, see the top ROI lineups are. I'll do a hand build. And by the end of this video, guys, you'll know all the industry's must plays along with my splash plays for today, February 26th, 2026. Oh, there we go. There's some symmetry there, but let's get into it. I hope it was a good slate for you guys. Yesterday, I feel like had most of the things feeling pretty good on the slate, just did not have the nuts. One of the Stokastic users over there did win, though. Shout out to Low Stories, I believe watches this show and Stokastic, but 100K took that down for, I think, the second time in a couple weeks. Stokastic crushing lately, so you'll see my data today. You'll see Stokastic data. Always a good time to check those things out when the data's running hot for people winning tournaments across the industry. Shout out to the kind chat as well here from our guy AJ up top. Since I've been watching this show, doing way better at NBA, fishing top 200 frequently, just one player away from winning the top lineups. Yeah, I mean, that's how it can go sometimes. I appreciate the kind words, though, and you being here and doing the work. But yeah, like NBA is a sport where you get a lot of things right. You still ultimately might not have the nuts on a lot of slates. All you can do is have good process, keep showing up, doing the work as best you can, whatever that means for you. And obviously for you guys watching this stream, you see my work here, the amount of effort I put in and the way I go about things. And I think just having that in your background while you're doing things for your own NBA prep, you'll be better off for it no matter what you're going to choose to play in the slate. Gambling is personal accountability, so make your own choices, follow your hearts, and I'll tell you guys what I'm seeing, and hopefully we can figure out things as best we can. Speaking of figure things out as best we can, top projected plays here, Luka Doncic #1 on this slate, and we do have a situation where you have some back-to-backs, some teams right now. I think you could question, obviously tanking going to be a thing, as Hunt's pointing out here, but also you have teams today where we don't have the injury report out yet as well, so let's keep that in mind. Lakers, though, Luka not on the injury report. Just wanted to double check that because he did get, I think, his eye banged up last game. Maybe part of why he didn't shoot that shot to close out the game, pass it off to LeBron, and then LeBron threw Luka under the bus afterwards because didn't feel like he should have had to shoot that shot. Classic LeBron behavior. That said, for Luka here, 56.7 projection facing Phoenix, a Phoenix team as well. No Devin Booker, no Dylan Brooks, so defense probably a little bit better for not having Booker out there. Offense a little bit worse as a result, though. Luka Doncic 11.4 salary. Definitely a salary you'll be able to afford, I think, on the slate with the value that's available. Fields at 21%. I'm getting him at 24. Luka, one of those players all year long we've always been happy to get to. He really hasn't been on the main slate super often lately, but today he is in the main slate facing Phoenix. So at 11.4 salary on DK, looks like a pretty strong play today. My projection a little bit higher, and never gonna have an issue getting Luka Doncic. Ownership at 20.5%. I think that's fair. Doesn't seem like you're getting much of a discount, but clearly I'm getting him a little bit more across my 100,000 contest sims. This 24% number means that he makes that often. He's in a winning lineup across 100,000 contest sims. Victor Wembanyama, 6% owned by the field. I'm getting him at 5. We did get downgrades, or I guess not downgrades, but updated news about Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, those guys, Q tags. Not sure if any other Spurs will be downgraded as well, because that just came out right before the show. We also got a bunch of the Kings out, too. Oh, boy, a lot of things. Donovan Clingan downgraded. Keegan Murray out. That's not a surprise because he hurt his ankle yesterday. Westbrook out, though. Malik Monk questionable. So those are things that matter on the slate. Right now for Wemby, would benefit a little bit for having Castle out. Keldon Johnson, too, would help the projection out a little bit for Wembanyama. But at a 10.9 salary, think he's an okay play, not screaming out his value. Only a 4.7x mark for me, and that's with my projection of 50.7, being a little bit higher than Stokastic's. For Wemby going against Brooklyn, does feel like the kind of matchup, the pickup there. Does seem like the kind of matchup where you could see more blocks, could see... he's not really getting enough assists for me to feel like he's a real quadruple double threat, but you could see more blocks, could see the double-double come a little more easily for Wemby. Point total being a little bit higher against a Brooklyn team that doesn't play great defense. Not the best spot either. But I think Wemby, just struggling to make a case for why you'd want to go there. Really, the case is going to be that he's 5.9% owned. We know he has 60, 70-point ceiling. But do you think the minutes for him, they're getting the mid-30s minutes when the game's competitive? Can Brooklyn be competitive enough to push Wemby to his minutes ceiling? I still think you kind of need him to hit that minute ceiling, even though point per minute wise, like he can get there, can do a whole lot. Westbrook out now. Yeah, I just mentioned that. But yeah, that's definitely going to change things. Obviously, won't be able to update for that during the show. Wembanyama, right ahead of Tyrese Maxey, a 48.7 projection. So on the slate, Maxey under 50, Wemby and Luka Doncic over 50. So if that's one of the ways you're deciding on who to play on the slate, Keep that in mind. That said, for Tyrese Maxey, 19% ownership for the field. I have him at 23. He's been playing better with Joel Embiid in, as we've talked about all year. He needs that second guy out there, whether it is Paul George, but in particular Joel Embiid, for his rates to get stable, for him to really produce at the rates that we want him to. And then Maxey, ironically, becomes mega chalk when you have Embiid out, because at that point, all the possessions should flow his way. He tends to underperform. But Maxey in this spot, pace-up situation against Miami, tough defense with all the wings they could throw at him. But Maxey, I'm happy to get to, I think, in this situation with a 49 projection, 10K salary. I think he's worth about 20% ownership, and a little bit less than Luka to me, but still a guy that you want to get mixed in amongst your pay-up options. If Castle sits, that could create more assists, perhaps. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to look at it for Wemby. Just really more time to have the ball in his hands, always going to be a good thing. But going against Brooklyn, I just find it hard to believe he gets to, like, he could play 35, 36 now after they were sort of, concerned about him minutes limit wise for a while. But he's not going to play 35 or 36 versus Brooklyn. Like, I'd be surprised by that. So 30 minutes, he can get there, but, it is what it is. Alperen Şengün went nuts on yesterday's slate with no Amin Thompson out there. Facing the Kings helped out as well. Today, facing Orlando, not quite the same spot. Production should be a little bit lower, but he can probably play more minutes because the game will be competitive, most likely into the end of the fourth quarter. Şengün, 9% owned by the field. I have him at 18. Thought he looked a little bit over-owned on yesterday's slate. When he puts up 70, he can be as owned as he wants, and it's going to work out well. That said, for Şengün today, more of a tournament option at single-digit ownership. Large slate. He's not going to be an obvious play to get to. Joel Embiid, minutes just under 30 in the projections. That's what he played last time out in his return for the to the lineup for the Sixers. For Joel Embiid in this spot, facing Miami in a pace-up situation, don't love Embiid in that kind of spot so much. I like him generally being able to get in position a little bit more, especially with his knees, his legs affecting him lately. But Joel Embiid, a pivot to Tyrese Maxey at slightly less ownership, I suppose. But he's only coming up 4% for me across my 100,000 contest sims. Fields at 12%. I think Embiid's an okay play today. Certainly ownership not nuts or anything. And he played really well coming back. Thought he would sort of start slow coming off the injuries again, racking up for him. But in this spot for Embiid, I think he's an okay play, but my projection is 4 points lower than Stokastic's for a reason. I'm giving him 1.43 fan sports minute. I know, because I double-checked the math before the show just to make sure I wasn't short shrifting him in any way. He's just not getting enough minutes, and the price tag of 9,500 is pretty aggressive, so I don't see Embiid being a play for me, but Fields there a little bit. Dyson Daniels looks a lot better. No Jalen Johnson today. He got hurt last game. Now he's out. So facing Washington, shooting guard, small forward eligibility, all good things for Dyson Daniels. For the Hawks, there's not been a lot of time they've played with no Porzingis, no Trae Young, no Jalen Johnson, but let's look it up here because I think it's important enough. Let's go just this year, and let's take Trae, Jalen Johnson, and Porzingis off. And I've already got this data imported in what you're seeing on screen, but feel like it's always helpful to kind of go through the rates and give you guys more of a read on how we get to that point. So you can see here for some of the Hawks that have been here all year, 1,000 possessions for Gay, 990 possessions for Okongwu, very stable sample size at this point. But really, these guys not producing super well. Your best producer with Jalen Johnson off the court has been Jonathan Kuminga. I do think he's an interesting play today. I don't think he'll start. My guess is that they still start Mo Gay, but Kuminga can take minutes away. He did in the second half of last game, played 24, almost 25 minutes last game, did Kuminga. If he were to start, I think he'd look like a really good play. But basically came out like a new man, had almost a 20% assist rate in that situation, making his debut for Atlanta. 1.5 DK points per minute in that spot. Also had 90% true shooting. He basically hit all his shots. But Kuminga with Jalen Johnson out, he'll have the opportunity to really get the role that he wanted to have on Golden State for so long. The issue is just how many minutes they give him. My guess is he's still going to be around 25 minutes. But if he were to start and get 30, Kuminga would look like a much better play. Alexander Walker, questionable too. Would that help Dyson? I mean, it would help anybody to get more bodies out here. Like McCollum probably would benefit the most from losing, any more guard usage, but just not having Jalen Johnson in at this point helps out a lot. Losing one more body, whoever it would be, would help out a little bit more. But Okongwu at 1.1 fan sports minute without Jalen Johnson this year. McCollum in 500 possessions. So not 1,000 possessions that we're looking for, but half the sample size. 1.1 fan sports minute for him. Jock Landale getting 1 flat fantasy point per minute. Dyson Daniels at 0.93. He'll play a lot of minutes, but not crazy productive. Alexander Walker's been pretty bad. 0.93 fan sports minute, only 51% true shooting. Daniels at 42% true shooting with Jalen Johnson off, just awful. Guys not creating their shots well. But the reality is that all of them have a ton of opportunity now for having, no Jalen Johnson out there. And potentially, if you do get more Hawks missing, like Isaac just pointed out, it does look better for them. Daniel Smee getting about 34 minutes of Stokastic data, shooting guard, small forward. Also, frankly, less good play on Washington side at this point with the fact that you are going to be down Keyshawn George for the 20 minutes he would have played otherwise. It's a spot where Dyson Daniels can get some turnovers. So I like him in this spot more. It feels like a really big stand with me having him at a 41.9 projection. Stokastic has him at 33. But the rates are what they are. Dyson Daniels gets an uptick in all the stats, even though he shot terribly so far with Jalen Johnson off the court, as we just saw. Okongwu getting that 1.1 fan sports minute rate uptick. I'm at about a 42 projection. So Cascas met 35. So definitely a bit of a gap here. But when you take a player like Jalen Johnson off the court and you also give these Hawks a matchup versus Washington, it's a recipe to get a lot of Hawks, I think. So Okongwu coming up at 14% of my lineups. They're only giving you 1%. Is that right? That feels like a really low ownership number here. They must have just updated again. Okongwu is now at 3% owned. Okongwu, before the show in the data, I ran a sim. Actually going to rerun it here right now in parallel. Okongwu coming up low for the field, getting him above that. He looks good for me. Really think the theme of the day for me is going to be playing a little bit more Hawks with Jalen Johnson being out. Kevin Durant, 8,900 facing Orlando here. Not a great spot. We just don't have a ton of players projected over 40, so he's coming up. 41.2 projection for Durant. Getting Amin Thompson back in today, not great. But Kevin Durant always has a ceiling. Fields at 8%. I'm getting 9. Really nothing to note today about Kevin Durant besides the fact that Amin Thompson being back in probably decreases that ceiling a little bit. Michael Porter Jr., 41.1 projection. For him right now in my data, Fields going to be at, or Stokastic projection rather, is at 37.7, so a little bit higher at MPJ. MPJ lately playing 32, 33 minutes in most spots, so I do think this 30-minute projection, obviously being conservative because of the fact certainly the Spurs can blow out the Nets today. But MPJ, if the game stays competitive enough, or, really, I would say it doesn't even have to be competitive, just competitive enough for MPJ to get a fourth quarter stint. Field being at 4%, I'm getting 5. Do you think MPJ a nice little tournament option, even though not a screaming value at 8,500? We're going to sort by value here, and also let me just quickly refresh to make sure. Or here we go. So you know what? I will refresh things. I'm just going to quickly talk about some guys that came in now because basically Stokastic data moved, it seems. Drew Holiday, really important player for me on the slate. I'm at a 41.4 projection. We're going to talk about him in the value metrics in a moment as well. But basically for Drew Holiday, back to NBA Wowie, because it's important to note with no Shaedon Sharpe today for Portland, no Denny Avdia, what the rates are for these guys. So Avdia and Sharpe off. This year we've had under 1,000 possessions, but Jeremy Grant producing 0.95 fan sports minute. Tamani Kamara, who should get a good amount of minutes, 0.8 fan sports minute, nothing special here. Donovan Clingan, who got that downgrade to questionable. He's been putting up a 1.3 fan sports minute. Clingan, kind of like Jared Allen, who we've talked about, in particular, mattered a lot more when James Harden got ruled out yesterday. When you take various Trailblazers off the court, much like Jared Allen, you take various Cavaliers off the court, the rates per minute just jump a bunch. Clingan gets more rebounds, more shots at the rim. Jared Allen had the same thing yesterday, went nuts in that spot. So Clingan, if he plays strong play, if he doesn't play, then you're going to get Robert Williams, Yang Hansen on Q tags. One of them will go, would be my guess, but Clingan a good play if he goes. Drew Holiday, 1.24 fan sports minutes. So he's the one we really want to talk about. He's putting up 29% usage, 9 assists per 100 possessions. Rebounding, okay, it doesn't really matter that much for him, but 60% true shooting with these guys off the court. So Drew Holiday becomes the best version of Drew Holiday. And all this year, he's been solid per minute. But now, because of the fact these guys are not available, Drew Holiday to me looks like one of the most important plays on the slate. So Fields at 50% on Drew. I'm at 64. I'm going to talk about him here because he's also one of the top values on the slate. But Drew Holiday looks like a really strong play today. And basically, they're facing a Chicago team who's not particularly good. But the totals in that game are also pretty strong for Portland in particular. So for Drew Holiday, really good play. Clingan as well. And those guys weren't in the data for some reason. Is Grant a click if Clingan sits? I mean, Grant would look better real fast. Let's just take Clingan off and see if it helps out Jeremy Grant in a smaller sample size. The issue with Jeremy Grant, he just really hasn't got a lot of shots up this year in most configurations. His per minute numbers would look better. He'd get closer to 1 fantasy point per minute. Drew Holiday would hang in steady about 1.22. He shot a little bit worse with Clingan off the court, but you'd expect that to meet somewhere in the middle. Robert Williams would be the big winner if he plays and Clingan doesn't. He's put up 1.4 DK points per minute. Of course, he is a Q tag as well, so that's not great. And he's questionable with what? Right foot soreness. Yeah, Clingan being out, I think, mostly helps out the center spot for Robert Williams if he plays. All right, let's do it by value here, guys. Before I do that, one quick ask. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Goes a long way for me here. Ultimately, I'm just one guy showing you my work in the NBA here every single day. Soon for MLB as well, but no matter what, I'm showing up here 2 p.m. Monday to Friday, doing the work as best I can, preparing for this NBA slate, taking you guys through everything I'm seeing. And of course, things will move around. It's the NBA, and the NBA's tanking season getting more than more than ever is not helping out. But still showing up here, giving you guys the foundation you need to do good work when you build your own lines, make your own bets later today. So show some love if you can. Hit that like button, subscribe. You've been fighting the good fight lately. Let's keep doing it. Check out Stokastic as well. All their data, all their tools. Really, the best thing I could say is real fast. Actually, let me pull up the tweet because probably will sell it better for you guys than I can. All right, so this guy here, this guy tagged me in it. He won the mini max yesterday. Tagged me because I was on the live before lock show. Let's see. And then this guy, Low Stories. Again, he's won 2 out of the last couple of weeks. Won 100K yesterday with this lineup you see on screen using Stokastic data. Will Richard popping up in Stokastic data a little bit. My good friend Eric Lindquist touted him as the nuke of the night yesterday, and he really did nuke. But this is what you're getting with Stokastic data, so check it out for yourself. Again, really the biggest thing on Stokastic is that you're building great lineups, idiot-proof, good lineups no matter what you're doing. And if you're building in with players that are just total assholes, it'll give you the best ROI version of that. And that's what you get on Stokastic is you're getting the upside shots at 100K. Low Stories is putting in, 150 entries, so you got to keep that in mind. But like that's what you're getting. You're getting industry-leading data. So really do check it out. I think my tools are a great supplement to what you have over at Stokastic. So check it out. 15% off the promo code SPLASH. Link down below. And that's any package, weekly, monthly, even yearly. Get 15% off. Yeah, any sport as well. If you want to get a bunch of them all rolled up into one, you get that for 15% off too. And last but not least here, do support my site, splashplaypodcast.com. All the data I show you here on screen, it's available for yourself. Squirt Squad tier is a cheaper option. At $20 a month, you get the matchup screen, the projection matrix screen. You can see all the data in a sortable way. It looks good on mobile as well. If you get the VIP tier, that's the one I'd recommend. You get all the simulation data across 100,000 contest sims, my projections, exportable, Stokastic sims as well. You can use my projections on there with an easy one-click CSV export. Really good stuff at splashplaypodcast.com. If you want to see me keep doing what I do on here, get a membership on there. Really does go a long way. Even if it's just a Squirt Squad membership. And pretty soon, I think I'm going to roll out a minutes tool on here. Not going to actually project minutes, I think, right now, because I just can't find a way to do it. I would probably like to use an AI agent at some point for that, to try to make it like a projection making robot. And then I can, look it over, basically is what I'm hoping to do. But what I'm going to try to build is a minutes page that shows you last 5 games averages, last 10 games averages, and then the last 10 games minutes as well. So you can see it in one place. I think minutes are a really important part of the equation this time of year. And I've noticed a lot in my data. You guys have heard me haranguing about Stokastic's minutes lately and just how tough they've had it projecting things and how much it could affect our lineups. So that's something coming out soon on the site, probably within the next week. So it's going to be a Squirt Squad tier item. So good stuff coming no matter what tier you're on the splashplaypodcast.com site. So check it out. All right, we've hoard adequately, but I really need to hoard harder because you guys got to keep signing up. We got top projected plays here according to value. Nick Richards, number 1 here. So the big thing for Nick Richards, we have no Jalen Smith today. We also got Patrick Williams rolled out. So Patrick Williams been playing a lot of the vacated 4 or 5 minutes that are floating around for Chicago. It's pretty much going to be Nick Richards, Yabu, and Lachlan Olbrich playing most of those minutes at this point. So Nick Richards, 4K salary, facing a Portland team that might be down Donovan Clingan. Even if he does face Clingan, I think the fact that no matter who he's playing is going to be close to the rim probably helps out Nick Richards. So 4K is a value coming up a good amount for the field. Field's at 27%. I'm at 44. And that's my projection being a little bit lower as well. 28.5 projection for me on Nick Richards. Compared to Stokastic, having him as 29.5. But he is a 7X value on paper. Do you think he should? Well, I don't know if I should say should. He's very likely to pick up the start. My guess is that he starts the 5, Yabu at the 4. And Nick Richards, he's a good value play today. People thought he's going to be like a smash value play last time out because Jalen Smith was out. You still had too many bodies there with Patrick Williams. Now taking Patrick Williams out, that was the last barrier for Nick Richards to get real minutes. So at 4K, a priority play today in terms of value. Bryce Sensabaugh. Shooting guard, small forward. And we do have for today, Lauri Markkanen out, apparently sustained a hip/leg injury of some sort. The NBA was going to send independent doctors to verify. They're not doing that. They're letting the Jazz not play Lauri Markkanen today. But we also, for Utah, I think we had a downgrade, right? Keontae George also out now. So for Utah, all the usage in the world to go around for Sensabaugh, for Kyle Filipowski. Obviously, Nurkic out the whole year as well for the nose job he's getting, I believe, because he has sleep apnea. Is his end of year injury. For Bryce Sensabaugh, shooting guard small forward, 5,700, not a price tag we're normally trying to pay for a Bryce Sensabaugh type. But let's quickly just go to NBA Wowie, because I want to see the exact rates for Sensabaugh with all these guys off. We got Markkanen off. Keontae missing, I believe, a 6th straight game off. So Bryce Sensabaugh putting up 1.04 DK points a minute. We'll keep Jaren Jackson, Kessler, and Nurkic on. Should take off Nurk too. Let's see if that helps them all. Nurk does take some usage. It's Sensabaugh at 1.03. So you're expecting over 1 fantasy point minutes, the main thing. First Sensabaugh for Filipowski. Those guys should play a lot of minutes today. Would be the assumption here. Everybody else, they'll have a chance to do something here because there's really no shot takers left in the team at this point. Even Vince Williams with his torn ACL done for the year. So Bryce Sensabaugh, that's why he's coming up here. Price tag's pretty high. They're facing the Pelicans too, which does help at 5,700. But right now, getting 36 minutes in Stokastic data is Bryce Sensabaugh. His minutes lately, just real fast. This is why I would like to have it on the site so I can consult it quickly. Sensabaugh with some of these guys in lately. His last 5 games averaging about 26.6 minutes. Last time out, he played 32. It's hard to imagine him playing less than 32. And his last 7 games, as high as that 35.5 minutes as well. So yeah, Bryce Sensabaugh should play over 30 minutes no matter what, producing 1.04 fantasy points a minute. So I think no matter what, he's going to be one of your cash game plays. For a tournament, he needs to hit a ceiling. I think it's shooting guard small forward at that price tag. But I think he's a very easy play to get to. John Conchar, part of this now depleted Jazz roster, 3,700 as well. Not a good per minute producer. Definitely not the same tier of Sensabaugh, but he does a little bit of everything, and they have minutes to go around. Stokastic giving John Conchar right now 28 minutes. That gets him in 27% of my lineups. Fields at 12. For Sensabaugh, I don't think I read the numbers here. Fields at 65%. I got 78. A massive stands on Utah today because even the guys that, can play a little bit are not playing now. And the guys they traded for, like Vince Williams, also not available now. Jamari Bouye. You got no Devin Booker, no Dylan Brooks, so Bouye going to get 20 minutes of the data. At 3,100, he comes up as a value option a little bit here. Fields at 0.5%. I got him at 6% of my winning lineups across 100,000 contest sims. Not a great projection from Stokastic on Bouye. I got him at 20, though. I've played Bouye a few times for these depleted Phoenix teams. I think ideally you'd want Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie to be out to really get to Bouye in a meaningful way. But as a pay down option at 3,100, not a lot of players like him are playable on the slate right now. I think he's an okay one. Marvin Bagley, your thumbnail guy. Haven't gotten to him yet. Revenge game going against Sacramento. Should be fun for him at 4,900. No Daniel Gafford today. Also depleted team and no PJ Washington. Cooper Flagg still out. So for Dallas here, Marvin Bagley looking good. He's not been as good of a producer on the Mavs so far, but overall this year, when you give him his rates from his time in Washington, as well as what he's done so far in Dallas, Bagley's been putting up 1.1 DK points per minute, accounting for the matchup today against Sacramento. I'm at 1.3. So Bagley looking pretty strong here. Fields there a lot at 46%, but I have him at 50%. I think Bagley, along with Nick Richards, probably 2 of the first center plays people are going to put in. So that's a very particular construction people will get to. Those guys are very obvious values and hard to imagine fading them. Drew Holiday right behind him is a value. Again, 6.3x for Drew Holiday at 6,600. The fact he's facing Chicago, he can play more minutes. Theoretically, can get to mid-30s based on the minutes he's played lately. So Drew Holiday with no Shaedon Sharpe, no Denny Avdia. You saw the rates earlier. Your big winners are Donovan Clingan and Drew Holiday, and you might even get Clingan not playing based on him getting downgraded for an illness. Micah Potter. So I am not buying the Micah Potter minutes quite as much from Stokastic today. They're giving him 27. Right now, Obi Toppin's a Q tag. If he comes back in, I believe he had a wrist injury. So it was like a serious one, but I think that's what it was. Let me just make that. Might be on the injury report, right? Yeah. No, foot injury. Okay, never mind. stress fracture in his foot. So he's going to be minutes limited no matter what. His cardio is probably not all the way there, but he's going to play some minutes that'll take away from Micah Potter. I was going to make the case that he could play potentially even more minutes, but I think with a foot fracture coming off that, probably not so much. For Potter, though, I just don't see him playing 27 minutes, so I've played him as a value enough slates lately. He's paid off hugely sometimes. When you start to get more bodies in for these teams, though, like Obi Toppin, a guy is going to probably want to show that he still can play before they probably pull him back off for the tanking purposes. I think Micah Potter loses minutes here, so at 27 minutes, he looks like a good play. If he plays 20, he wouldn't be. Fields at 4%. I am at 10. I think Micah Potter, though, one of those guys. I just don't feel strongly enough about to really think he'll hold up as we get closer to lock. Sharif Cooper, our sweet angel, Alondis Williams, he's gone to the farm. He's gone. His 10-day contract has ended, so that's probably why I didn't play him last game. But today he's unavailable. That benefits guys like Sharif Cooper. Keyshawn George being out also helps out Sharif Cooper. But Washington doesn't want to play their key guys. Their bub, and I say key guys loosely. They're Bub Carrington tier guys. They're Trey Johnsons. They're not giving those guys unlimited minutes. Sharif Cooper gets more as a result. Right now, Stokastic giving him 26 minutes. He looks pretty good with a 25 projection for me with that amount of minutes. 23 is the projection that Stokastic is giving him. That gets him into lineups here. 1% owned by the field. I got him in 4%. Not a screaming value, but an okay one. And Rob Dillingham benefiting from the lack of bodies a little bit, as well as Chicago's propensity for getting blown out. Dillingham at 3,900, not producing super well for Chicago, but he's a usage guy. He's an assist rate guy. I think he will start to produce better when he gets more minutes. 26 minutes projected right now by Stokastic. Makes him look decent enough as a value at 3,900. Fields at 14%. I have Dillingham at 12. Are we to go game by game here, guys? Quick question from Isaac. What do you think of Carter Bryant? Think you would definitely need both those guys to be out. But Carter Bryant got to 14 minutes last game. I think Keldon being out, he maybe gets to 20, but has he produced at all this year in a way that I would care? He's only putting up 0.77 fantasy points a minute. The main thing going for him is that he is minimum salary. But yeah, if you get Castle and Keldon Johnson out, he'll get enough minutes that he might look like something of a play. He can rebound a little bit, 100 rebounds per 100. Or 10 rebounds, 10.4 rebounds per 100. Yeah, I don't think he's a good enough producer. I'd be stoked about him, but he might come up a little bit. We're going to go game by game, guys. Before we do that, please make sure to help me out again. Hit that like button and subscribe. You guys have been doing it in a major way lately. We got to keep doing it because we got to fight the good fight against the YouTube algorithm, which needs to keep seeing approval. I need to pander for approval so YouTube will go, oh, here's a few more views for you. Here's a few shekels. But that's the goal here, building up the channel, doing NBA work every day, soon MLB every day on this channel too. So join along for that ride. Hit that like button and subscribe. And if nothing else, just help me keep fighting the good fight. Try to build this up into something useful for myself. Check out Stokastic as well, 15% off. Again, we saw the screenshots earlier. People winning 100K multiple times in the last couple weeks. People winning the mini max, like tons of Stokastic avatars as well up top of these tournaments lately. That's what you get with their data. Again, idiot proof, great DFS lineups for NBA. Of course, for any sport, really, you're playing DFS as well. Check it out. Link down below, and then use promo code SPLASH over at Stokastic to get in there. And last but not least, in fact, something the most important, join over at splashplaypodcast.com. You want access to the Discord. You want access as well to all the data I show you guys here on screen. It updates throughout the night, and you're getting one really good look at 2 p.m. I hear from a lot of you guys that watch the video, do your hand building, but it gets a lot better when the data updates. Really important to see the updates as the day goes on so you know what players are expected to get more minutes, what Vegas totals are moving. When guys get ruled out, things are going to shift. So check it out at splashplaypodcast.com, especially if you enjoy this content, want to see me keep doing what I'm doing. Supporting through that is the most important way to do it right now, because more of you guys sign up, the more I can actually build this into a company as opposed to just me grasping at straws. Hoping so. Is this how people grasp at straws? Is this how you do that? That's what we're hoping. Funny thing is I have to do thumbnails after the video, and I'll just scroll back and be like, oh, when did I finish the plug so I can put the timestamp in? And I'll just see myself doing this gesture. And that's how I'll know that's time for the timestamp. We're going to go game by game here, guys, hopefully efficiently. We got Miami at Philadelphia, 238.5 combined points. Of course, this screen you can see for yourself on the Squirt Squad tier at splashplaypodcast.com. But nothing really of note for the Heat. 118 implied total for them. Not bad. But team at full strength, getting Hero back in, still trying to find his footing, even though he's not creating assists. Usage is not as high as it used to be, but he's playing okay enough. Wiggins at 5%, Powell at 4%. That's about it. Philadelphia on their side, Tyrese Maxey looks pretty good with their 120.5 implied total. Very high total for this spot for Philadelphia. Obviously getting a pace-up matchup against the fast-paced Heat is Philadelphia. But Maxey, 24% owned by the field. I'm at 26. Again, he plays better with Embiid. Hit the ceiling last time out as Embiid still had a great game. It's really these two guys getting a lot of the shots up at this point. Joel Embiid, I think a better play than I'm probably giving him credit for. Fields at 15%. I got him at 6. My projection, though, is about 3.5 points lower than Stokastic, so that's why. 9,500 is a tough price tag to play for Embiid. But, the hope, Stokastic now giving him 30 minutes in their data. So if he gets to 30, he's got a shot. BJ Edgecombe, not seeing it too much. Fields at 5%. I got 6. Yeah, this game, really, Maxey is about it for me. Don't mind Embiid. You definitely need somebody to sit out for Miami at this point. They just have too many guys, and they all have, 20 to 30% usage. It's not a good situation for anybody until their price tags come down more. Charlotte at Indiana here, 229.5 combined points. Hornets with 121.5 implied. A very good total for them. Nothing coming up here, though. Miles Bridges, 5% for the field. I got him at 3. Brandon Miller guy always sticks into my data a little bit, especially when we get guys out for the Hornets. But now they're at full strength. Got him at 6%. The field's at 5. LaMelo playing shy of 30 minutes. Really not able to get where he needs to go at his price tag. Stokastic bumped his minutes down as well to 26 today in their projections. Doesn't look great. Diabate played well last time out, but now his price tag's back up after it went down during his suspension. Yeah, good total for Charlotte. Good matchup versus Indiana, but nothing really discounted here. If a guy sneaks into your lineup, I wouldn't kick him out, but can't imagine you're getting a ton of ownership here. Pacers on their side, getting another body in with Obi Toppin doesn't help. He's a Q tag right now. If he were out, they would look slightly better. Micah Potter, the only play that really matters to me, getting him in 10% of my lineups. Fields at 3.5%. That said, Stokastic giving him 27 minutes does seem kind of aggressive to me. Quentin Jackson played 28 minutes off the bench last game. He didn't play super well, but he did play 28 minutes. He can play better than he did last time out. He's getting bench minutes. He's shooting guard, small forward. So not a terrible value at 4,500, but don't think people will be dying to go back there if he did fail as chalk last time out. Talon Peter getting a lot of minutes from Stokastic, but feel like he's going to play more if Andrew Nembhard weren't available. They're also not giving McConnell any minutes. He played 15 last game. I don't know why they're not giving him any at all. Indiana, they're going to move things around to be my guess, but nobody's going to look that good. Yeah, it's basically it. Nobody looks that good at this point. They've got enough bodies. Washington, Atlanta, 235.5 combined points here. Wizards with a 113 implied total on their end. Despite no Keyshawn George, no Alex Sarr, nothing looking that good here. Bilal Coulibaly's at 5% for the field. I got 2. Jameer Watkins got a new contract, so he will not be one of the two-way guys getting cycled out. 4% owned. I'm getting 3%. And it is worth pointing out, we saw it happen with Bryce McGowan's on the Pelicans. Got his new contract, played a bunch, played well that next day. Jameer Watkins has been terrible on the year at 0.74 fantasy points a minute, but he is one of those guys that can earn a lot of minutes through just the Wizards not wanting to win and not having a lot of guys that they want to play. So the fact he got a new deal, 4,300, small forward, power forward, maybe he hits the value today. But that's not really a great reason to play him. He's not there in a super big way in the data, only a 5.1x value, a 21.7 projection. I think Washington looks pretty shitty despite the fact that they should have opportunity with no Keyshawn George, but they just not enough minutes for anybody. Hawks, 122.5 implied points, one of the higher totals on the slate. Yeah, no Jalen Johnson, nobody really popping up here. If Kuminga were to start, it would look a lot better. As we saw above here, this is a 7:30 start time, so I don't know if you'll know the Hawks starting lineup in time for lock, but I'm going to get a little bit of Kuminga because I do think him being able to step into that role that Jalen Johnson leaves behind is really all the opportunity Kuminga needs and has really been dying for all the years with the Warriors. But Mo Gay should pick up the start here. He started the second half last game for Jalen Johnson. At 3,600, he is technically going to be a value play, 5.1x value. My projection, though, at 18.5, not giving him a lot of love. His rates just don't take a big enough jump up with Jalen Johnson off the court. If Alexander Walker were out, it would help out a little bit for everybody. But yeah, for Atlanta, really think there would be better plays here. Getting Dyson Daniels because he's shooting guard, small forward, 6,400. It's probably the main reason I'm getting him here. But yeah, look, these guys should be better today. They're facing Washington. Great matchup. No Jalen Johnson helps out so much for the stats that he soaks up every game. I think there's a big ceiling here, but nobody's going to be like a core play, really. I mean, for me, Dyson Daniels is, but for the field, not so much. McCollum to a lesser extent as well. Houston at Orlando. Don't think there's going to be much to like here. Amin Thompson being back in. These guys are not priced all the way for that. Kevin Durant, 6% for the field. I got 7. He's got a ceiling. Şengün, same thing. Fields at 3%. I got 5. He has a ceiling. Amin Thompson does as well at 8,300, but hard to love him. 4.3x value is what I'm getting them at. And that's with my projection being 1.2 higher than Stokastics. Houston kind of busto team here. Orlando on their side, same thing. A lot of minutes for guys like Banchero, Anthony Black. Jalen Suggs got hurt, so he'll probably play on the lower end of minutes. Stokastic giving him 25 here. Desmond Bane will also play a lot of minutes. It feels like to me kind of a playoff environment game. Sometimes, like we talked about earlier in the week, Spurs, Detroit, you sometimes get those teams playing up despite the tough defensive matchups, because it's just two great teams going head to head. Orlando and Houston, I would say not two great teams, but two of the better teams in the league that play playoff style basketball. A guy like Paolo, is he going to shoot well against the Rockets? No. Might he shoot 30 times to make up for it? Possibly. There's a ceiling for these guys, just projection-wise. None of them are even close. Spurs at Brooklyn. 223.5 combined points. Spurs with 117.5 implied on their side. Wemby with a massive ceiling, I think, on paper versus Brooklyn. Sure, you can get there. But Fields at 6%. I'm getting a rounded up 7. Dylan Harper, Fields at 6%. I'm getting 8. Obviously playing off the bench. He would look a lot better Castle route for sure, as would Vassell, as would De'Aaron Fox. But these guys not super cheap, so hard to love them. Harper, though, getting blowout run or, contributing to a blowout off the bench, definitely a more appealing play, I think, at the spot versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn on their side, MPJ, I feel like I usually get a little bit of, but today I'm only getting 3%. Fields at 2. Not a big stay in there. Spurs match was pretty tough. They are towards the better end of defense here, giving up only 111 points per 100 possessions on the year. So the Nets always want to take a shot on MPJ, but when he didn't hit versus Dallas, it did kind of make me go like, what am I doing? I need to keep doing this. But he can play, 35 minutes at a game. So if it's competitive, so MPJ, really the only net I would make a case for. Portland at Chicago, 234.5 combined points here. Love the spot for Portland with their 119.5 implied. We talked about Drew Holiday. He's going to be a massive play for the field, 50% owned. I have been 64% in my 100,000 contest sims here. I think Drew Holiday's a really strong play today. We saw the rates putting up just shy of 1.25 fan sports minute this year with Shaedon Sharpe and with Denny Avdia off the court. Donovan Clingan, Fields at 34%. I got 39. We saw him as well putting up 1.3 fan sports minute. That same situation. He is a good play versus a Chicago team that also sucks, can't get its own shot. He can get blocks. He can get a double-double fairly easily here. Easy shots to the rim as well in this matchup. So Clingan, if he plays, looks good. Unfortunately, he was a downgrade to questionable for illness, so you kind of assume that he won't play. If he doesn't play, Robert Williams likely starts. He's a Q tag as well, as is Hanson Yang. Those guys need to see Donovan Clingan be out for them to matter on the slate. That said, if Clingan is out, I think Robert Williams becomes one of the better values on the slate alongside the other center values that we talked about. Jeremy Grant will look better if you get Clingan out. He looks okay right now, but not a screaming play to me. Rates just don't support him taking a big uptick, even though there's a lot of opportunity for him as well with Shaedon Sharpe and Denny Avdia out. Same thing for Tamani Kamara, but he projects really badly at 6,100, only a 4x value. Yeah, I think to me, Drew Holiday, the very obvious play. I want to get there. My data really supports it. Drew, a guy that always pops my data when Portland is shorthanded. But Clingan and Drew, the priorities, the field will be there, though. And Scoot as well. Scoot can do better. Just the minutes limit is not great for him right now. What's the most that he's played since his return? Scoot got to 30 last time he played. So they might be short selling Scoot's minutes here. It was 21 before that, 20.1 before that. So I guess there's some risk that maybe he doesn't get to 30, but if Scoot plays 30, he's been really good this year, putting up 1.1 fantasy points per minute. He's playable at 5,500. And he'd be direct leverage on Drew Holiday as well. Chicago. All right. A lot of ownership coming in here because we were shorthanded. A bunch of guys. No Jalen Smith, no Patrick Williams. Nick Richards, the good value here. Again, another top value center at 4K. 27% owned by the field. I have him at 44. Buzelis, Fields at 25%. I have him at 28. Colin Sexton coming up here again. He played 28 minutes last game. Was really unproductive in the fourth quarter in particular. Just let everybody else get shots up as Chicago was playing for nothing most of that fourth quarter. But Sexton playing minutes, hard to pin down for me in terms of his role. I only have him at 10%. The Fields at 23, but he'll be out there. And he is shooting guard, small forward again. Rob Dillingham will play a lot if Chicago gets smoked here, but they're only a 4.5 point dog at home, so you don't expect that. But Dillingham playing off the bench, much like Sexton, likely to hit. I think the range of minutes outcomes is similar for Sexton and Dillingham, but Stokastic giving Dillingham right now 2.5 more minutes. Yabusele will probably start here alongside Nick Richards, would be my guess. If not, he'll start without Nick Richards. He's an okay play at 4,900, but not a great per minute producer this year at only 0.8 fantasy points per minute. Josh Giddey not getting enough minutes at 7,300. He would need to produce incredibly well per minute for him to hit a ceiling that he needed to have. Chicago, interesting team today, though. It's a good total versus Portland. Chicago, we know, doesn't really want to win at this point. Portland still seemingly would like to win. So let that guide you a little bit, I guess. Sacramento at Dallas. Very high total here for this game with 236.5 combined points. Kings with 115 implied. We saw Westbrook get ruled out before the show. Was there somebody else that got ruled out as well? I forget now. They had Monk downgraded. Keegan Murray was ruled out, but we expected that already. So for Sacramento, I think Devin Carter will be back and play a little bit more here. Killian Hayes, though, played last game, played a lot of minutes as well. Hayes, what did he get to? Got to 11 minutes. Didn't he play? Hold on a second. I think I might be missing his last game. I feel like he played like 20 yesterday. Killian Hayes did play 20. Played 20 minutes. He was terrible. 1 for 9 from the floor, 1 for 3 from deep, minus 17. But he did play 20 minutes. So Killian Hayes can play a little bit more. Yeah, I think I just didn't pull in the box scores from the game from last night. You don't think Hayes is a good play? So far, limited sample size, only putting up 0.5 fantasy points per minute. But he got 9 shots up. Only hit 1 of them yesterday. So it's a theoretical ceiling, and he might be ahead of Devin Carter in the rotation potentially. Curious to see what Stokastic does when they update, but Westbrook getting ruled out, it will look different. Dallas on their side, Gafford being doubtful today. No PJ Washington as well. Makes these guys look a lot better. Bagley being played 46% by the field. I got him at 50. Brandon Williams also popping up here. Just usage to float around. It goes Brandon Williams' way. Fields at 20%. I have him at 23. 5,200. There's a ceiling there, but with 24 minutes, it's hard for him to hit that unless he goes nuts per minute. Najee Marshall, 18% ownership. I'm getting 26% across my contest sims. Chris Middleton will play today. He also might get released at some point. We saw his shoulder get hurt last game out. So basically, I think Dallas, the report is that they gave him the choice if he wants to stay on the team or go on waivers. He might try to play a few more games, boost his earning potential a little bit for another deal because he's been playing well on the Mavs so far. But if he does get banged up, then he probably will take himself out of the game like they did last time out. So for Middleton, a little bit of a risk here. Fields at 14%, I'm getting 11. Max Christie, Fields at 9%, I'm getting the same number. Nav's a good team on paper. Facing the Kings, never a bad thing. Good total as well, 121.5. So no issue with the Mavs today. Oh my God, still 2 games left. All right. Lakers at Phoenix. Luka Doncic is going to make up some time here. Luka Doncic is the only player of note right now. Fields at 22%. I'm getting 25. Always a good play in my opinion, but having Reeves and LeBron back in, maybe not great for Luka's floor. Ceiling can always be there for him. Phoenix on their side, despite no Booker, despite no Dillon Brooks, nothing looks great here. Totals isn't that awesome for Phoenix either at 108.5 implied points. Jalen Green, the one coming up the most, $6,900 salary, but he's only making 5% of my lineups. I do have him producing 1.2 fantasy points per minute today, though, and he has shot terribly on the year at 46% true shooting. So if he could start to shoot better with the usage he'll have right now, he's at 34% usage on the year, and it's only going to get higher with no Booker and Brooks out there. Gillespie's been the best producer for the Suns with those guys out. Unfortunately, he's already 6,700. So if he hits a ceiling, it's possible, but at 7% owned, I think you want to be with that. He's a low-owned tournament option. He's got a ceiling. I don't mind Colin Gillespie on the slate. I feel like if the Suns are competitive today, he might be part of that. Grayson Allen, not nearly supported as much. His price tag is up so much at 7,500. I don't see getting there. Gillespie, to me, the most appealing option. Pelicans at Jazz, 241.5 combined points here. Zion benefiting lately from having his personal bodyguard, DeAndre Jordan, starting alongside of him. No Trey Murphy as well, helping out too. But DeJounte Murray does seemingly have an impact on Zion Williamson's usage rates. So think that him being a guy you want to flock to, not really the case at this point. DeJounte Murray played just shy of 25 minutes at his debut last time out. Looked mostly like the old DeJounte Murray rate-wise. It'll probably get better for him as he goes. He, based on quotes he said lately, thinks that they can make the play-in game, so they are full go right now, are the Pelicans. They also have 124.5 implied points, one of the best totals on the slate. So ceiling for the Pelicans is there. And for Zion, for Murray to a lesser extent, I think it's all options you want to consider today. Sadiq Bey at 6,500, one of very few guys who can shoot threes on the team at least league average levels. So he might benefit here with that total being so high. But Sadiq Bey, 6,500, think a tournament option to mix in at 11% owned, but not a compelling, you're going to get there a bunch option. I only am at 16%. Jeremiah Fields at 4%, I'm getting 9. Makovich, not really seeing as an option. Stokastic only giving him 8 minutes, as you can see here. Yeah, Pelicans to me, it's a huge total. So somebody having a ceiling there seems like a possibility. Even Herb Jones hitting some shots more than usual. Definitely a possibility here. But hard to love anybody. Don't think they're screaming out as great plays. Fears the value at 4,800. Probably the best case you could make. Jazz at 117 implied points on their side. Having no Markkanen really helps out a lot. No Keontae George for the limited minutes that he would have played, but only Sensabaugh and Conchar coming up. Sensabaugh, a core play for the field. Field's 65%. I'm getting 78. Stokastic giving Sensabaugh 36 minutes at shooting guard, small forward will help accomplish that. John Conchar at 3,700. He's been a terrible producer on the year at 0.8 fantasy points a minute, but with the rebounds that are floating around out here, the assist, extra usage as well. Conchar really doesn't shoot, only 9% usage on the year, but he's an okay play at 3,700 and small forward, power forward. Fields at 12%. I'm getting 27. Filipowski's so expensive now at 7,600. Hard to play him at this point. Collier at 7,800, same thing. They're playing Elijah Harkless now as some backup point guard minutes. So Collier not going to get unencumbered run even with Vince Williams with an ACL tear. The Collier too played a little bit too well, so they're not dying to give him endless run again. But the Jazz, definitely something here. Last game of the slate, so some flexibility. If you do have Jazz players to swap around if you need to. Man, Filipowski's definitely got a ceiling, but on that projection, I don't see how you play him at 7,600. Ace Bailey at 6K, I feel the same way. But, you know, all the usage to go around for the Jazz. No Markkanen, no George. Yeah, missing all the guys that matter. We're going to go to Stokastic next, but real fast, quick look at my sim here. Of course, this screen you get, guys, if you join the Squirt Squad here at splashplaypodcast.com. This screen as well. Let me take off the Stokastic data so you can see it better. This is my projection matrix. Great for hand builders. You can sort by value on every position here. Fantasy points per minute. Sim percentage based on my sim run. All of that really helps you out. VIP tier, you get my projections exportable here via CSV or copy paste, so you can use them however you want to. Simulation data across 100,000 contest sims, you can see all of that as well. Bryce Sensabaugh making 78% of the winning lineups across 100,000 contest sims right now. Drew Holiday 64%, Marvin Bagley 50. Guys who score 30 plus the most, Wembanyama does it 100% of the time. Luka does it 100%. Joel Embiid 99. 40 plus the most, it's Wemby, Luka, and Tyrese Maxey. 50 plus the most, Luka Doncic, Wemby, Tyrese Maxey again. 60 plus the most is Luka Doncic doing it 37% of the time, Maxey at 21%, Wemby at 19. And then Sensabaugh with his minutes and his standard deviation, 5% of the time he hits 60. So that's very noteworthy. Guys who 5x the most, Nick Richards, Bagley, and Conchar. 6xing the most are Nick Richards, Sensabaugh, and Conchar. It's kind of things you can see here updated throughout the night. Of course, the export for Stokastic Sims too, if you join my VIP tier. So check it all out. And yeah, that's the sim data here on my site. Let's build the Stokastic sim out next. Let's see if they've updated. No, they updated right before the show. Nothing since. But let's generate this contest here. 5,000 lineups. But you guys know the deal here. Got to ask for some plugs once again. Hit that like button and subscribe. It means a lot for me to keep fighting the good fight on YouTube. Get more views. The only way I can do that is you guys hitting that like button and subscribing here. So show some love. Click the buttons if you can. And you know the deal. Check out Stokastic as well. All their data, all their tools, helping people win 100K multiple times in the span of a couple of weeks for the guy Low Stories out there. But also for you guys here, if you want to build better lineups, whether you're hand building or building 150 maxes, 20 maxes, Stokastic will be the recipe for it. So check it out. Great data. Idiot-proof data is really the biggest thing you get over at Stokastic. You can build good lineups no matter how good you are at NBA DFS. Click the link down below and use our promo code SPLASH for 15% off over at Stokastic. And that's any package as well, weekly, monthly, even yearly. And of course, splashplaypodcast.com, which we just talked about. Get it for yourself. Again, you're saving money compared to signing up through YouTube, but also you get all the data for me. Squirt Squad tier, $20 a month. VIP tier, $40 a month. It's cheaper than anybody else out there. Of course, I am, only doing data Monday to Saturday every week too, so that's part of it. But I really do a lot of work here, as you see on stream every day. If you guys enjoy what you're watching, look, just 500 you guys watch the video every day. If you guys all sign up for memberships, I'd be the happiest boy in the world. So please keep signing up over at splashplaypodcast.com. Check it out. And if nothing else, you will get a better read on the NBA DFS slates every day with more and more to come for MLB, for NFL as well. All right, top ROI lineups according to Stokastic. No interference from me here, just their data are running straight away. We got Rob Dillingham in the top ROI lineup. Rob Dillingham, CJ McCollum, Quentin Jackson, all the hits. Matas Buzelis, Nick Richards, Luka Doncic makes this one. Bryce Sensabaugh makes this one. And they downgraded for questionable. Donovan Clingan looks like a great play if he goes. If he doesn't go, though, Robert Williams probably going to step in and be that guy. Number 2, Drew Holiday, CJ McCollum again, Quentin Jackson, John Conchar, Nick Richards again, Luka Doncic again, Sensabaugh again, Clingan again. Very similar lineups up top. Number 3, Brandon Williams makes this one. Dyson Daniels makes this one. Matas Buzelis again, Conchar again, Nick Richards again, Luka again, Sensabaugh again, Clingan again. Number 4, Rob Dillingham, Jeremiah Fears, Najee Marshall, Buzelis again, Nick Richards again, Luka again, Sensabaugh again, Clingan again. Boy, very samey lineups up top on Stokastic today. Number 4, you have CJ McCollum, Nick Clifford, playing a lot of minutes for the Kings lately. And frankly, more stats to go around with Westbrook unavailable now. Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson, Nick Richards, Bryce Sensabaugh, John Conchar, Donovan Clingan. So this one, no Luka, but Sensabaugh, Clingan, Conchar, all over these. McCollum, Nick Richards, all over them as well. Nick Richards makes all the top 5. Very clearly defined ways that people are going to be building with Stokastic data today. Your top ROI players across all the lineups that Stokastic just built. Jeremiah Fears, a 19% ROI, so we didn't see him come up there, but he is one of the top ROIs. Nick Richards at number 2, Jaden Hardy at number 3. Is he going to play? I don't think so. Not a lot, at least. Tyus Jones, number 4 at a 10% ROI. Quentin Jackson right behind him. Conchar right behind him. Dillingham and Sensabaugh rounded out. So Sensabaugh, despite being mega chalk, still a 1% ROI with him being in like 80% of these lineups. Your highest exposure plays across the top 150. Bryce Sensabaugh makes 99% of the top 150. Stokastic has him at 63% owned. Man, his projections at 41 in their data. They are loving Bryce Sensabaugh today. Nick Richards at number 2, 75% of the top 150 has him compared to the field at 28%. So massive stand on Nick Richards. Donovan Clingan makes 2/3 of the top 150, a 68% exposure. Fields at 36, massive stand on Clingan as well. A lot of lineups with Richards and Clingan put together in Stokastic data. Number 4 is Luka Doncic. 45% of these lineups have him. Fields at 22. And Matas Buzelis, 39% exposure. He's in a lot of those top ROI lineups. Fields at 25, just ahead of Rob Dillingham and Dyson Daniels. Your highest leverage plays, Nick Richards, not a surprise with what we saw. Sensabaugh, same thing. Clingan, same thing. Luka, same thing. Rob Dillingham, same thing. Very concentrated player pool for Stokastic so far. Obviously, that can change, but that is noteworthy. Your biggest fades in Stokastic data. The thumbnail boy, Marvin Bagley, only 20% exposure. Fields at 47, so that's a negative 27% leverage on Bagley. I mean, they like Clingan a lot more, so seemingly Stokastic would rank Nick Richards top center priority, Clingan number 2, and Bagley a good grip behind. Drew Holiday, they're fading him, negative 25% leverage. I disagree. I think Drew Holiday, as long as they get minutes to the starters for the Portland Trailblazers today, I think Drew Holiday's going to hit. Colin Sexton, negative 14% leverage on him. The only one he gets 7% exposure. Fields at 21. Scoot Henderson, again, played 30 minutes last game. They're giving you negative 13% leverage on him. Only 12% exposure in the Fields at 25. And then Precious Achiuwa, who's also been playing a ton of minutes for the Kings lately, as they did roll back out their starters again, playing starter level minutes. Precious last couple games. I missed the most recent one, but he played 33 the one before that. Precious can play a lot of minutes, so they're fading him here. Only 3% exposure, which is negative 8% leverage. All right, let's do a hand build. Last stage of our journey here, guys. I'll give you guys my splash plays as well at the end of the video. Let's build it out here. The boys deserve a handy on a slate like this one. Pull up my projection matrix over here so I can see all of my data, and in particular the sim rates. All right, for me, point guard's Drew Holiday. Stokastic not supporting me on that as much, but I'm going to try to put him in here and hope we get a good ROI still. In fact, he's putting up 1.25 fan sports minute with no Shaedon Sharpe, no Denny Avdia, and they're facing Chicago with the good total. I'm a believer in Drew Holiday today. So's the field. Shooting guard, Bryce Sensabaugh, shooting guard, small forward. So is Dyson Daniels. Those would be my two guys. Let's put them both in. Sensabaugh put in at guard. Double D, Dyson Daniels, I'll put in at small forward. Power forward for me right now to be Matas Buzelis. Lowest sim hit rates for me at power forward. Buzelis is only a 28% rate for me. Conchar 27. Zion 24. But I'll go Buzelis here. Center. Center for me is still Bagley. And I think it would be Bagley. We know Klingon too. We know the sim's going to love Klingon. I'm really not confident Klingon plays with that downgrade. Yeah, I'm gonna put Nick Richards in because the sim's gonna reward me more. I feel like I would play Nick Richards and Klingon if Klingon were available. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. But Bagley, I don't mind him. Stokastic definitely likes him less than I do. Forward, to put in John Conchar so we can spend up at our last guard spot. We can't afford Luka. We can't afford Tyrese Maxey. So let's do that. The team we're simming out here: Drew Holiday, Bryce Sensabaugh, Dyson Daniels, Matas Buzelis, Nick Richards, Tyrese Maxey, John Conchar, Donovan Klingon. 174% ROI. That's it. We know the sim isn't going to like Bagley, but let's see what we can do with no Klingon, Bagley instead. Because my sim rate would say play Bagley over that. Then we could afford Luka, but we're leaving 1,000 on the table. So Drew Holiday, Sensabaugh, Dyson Daniels, Buzelis, Nick Richards, Luka, Conchar, Bagley, negative 6% ROI. All right. I don't think it wants us to downgrade that much. And it didn't like Bagley either. Yeah, puts in Kuminga. That's kind of fun. Let's see. Drew Holiday, Sensabaugh, again, same core. Dyson Daniels, Buzelis, Richards, Doncic, Conchar, and Kuminga. 54% ROI. That's a pretty fun lineup. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys my splash plays for the day. Before I do that, though, one last ask. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. You've heard me tell you the reasons why already, but really you guys have shown up in a big way, hitting the like button on the channel. So please keep doing it. You guys keep watching the videos, so show some love. Hit that like button. Help me keep fighting the good fight on YouTube so we can show the video to more people is sort of the goal here. Stokastic, all their data, again, winning people 100K literally multiple times in last week. Your mini-max winners yesterday, your top 100K tournament up top winners yesterday, both Stokastic users. And the mini-max was like the top 10 avatars. 7 of them had Stokastic avatars. Just crazy shit lately. Their data's cooking. I can critique the minutes all they want, but realistically, the minutes can be off by a little bit, and you're still getting one of the best tools in the business. So, I mean, you're getting the best tool in the business. I'll say that. Check it out for yourself over at Stokastic. 15% off. Use the promo code SPLASH when you sign up to get that promo code money going for yourself. And last but not least, if you want to join the channel here, join the chat, $5 to join. But the big thing to do to support the show, if you want to see it keep going on forever, again, if like just a quarter of you guys who watch this stream paid for splashplaypodcast.com, even on the Squirt Squad tier, this would be the happiest time of my life. But if you guys just keep signing up over there, number one, you're getting great data for NBA, for MLB soon too. But also, I charge you guys less than anything else out there because I want you guys to get in now. I'm not going to start ramping up the price tag on you guys. I just want a bunch of you guys to sign up, get in the mix, use the data I'm using, and hopefully we can all win together. So splashplaypodcast.com, check it out right now. Much cheaper than through YouTube, though. If you want to buy through YouTube, you still can. You just have to use your Discord to log in instead of your easy little email address as you get now through splashplaypodcast.com. All right, splash plays for the day. So again, I haven't updated for Westbrook being out. Do you think that'll change things a little bit? For me, though, still Drew Holiday. No matter what Stokastic tells me today, I'm going to play Drew Holiday. Sensabaugh has to be. I mean, I'm going to play him a lot. Field's going to be there a bunch too, but shooting guard, small forward. In my projection, not quite the 40 and change Stokastic's given him, but I'm at 39.9, so it's Sensabaugh. Center, I think the big three, if Klingon goes, him, Richards, Bagley, just cycle them around. If Klingon is out, I think it's Robert Williams you want to cycle in. There's probably some game theory. It's just not playing those guys, but they look like really, really great plays on the slate. I guess Dyson Daniels, Buzelis, second tier splash plays. They'll be in my core. But, you know, there's going to be stuff that moves around, guys. It will be on Live Before Lock again. I'll be on actually that show today, tomorrow, Saturday. So come watch me on there if you want to see things update. And I'll have certainly more nuanced takes as the data updates. So check me out there. Make sure to gamble responsibly, guys, even though it is always money time here on these channels. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow this channel on YouTube at SplashPlayBets, on Twitter at SplashPlayPod. If you want to see whenever I'm going live, you can see that on there. And I'll see you guys again soon. So, hey, enjoy your days. Good luck, and catch me on Live Before Lock later today. All right, bye, guys.